Genesis chapter 11, the Tower of Babel. A good example, by the way, of a story that we give to children that's hardly anything like a children's story. The Tower of Babel story is really a takeoff of the information that's given to us in 1025 of a man named Peleg whose family came to live in the land of Shinar. And during his days, the land, it says earth in 11:1, but it's the same word for land. The land was divided. So let's talk about that story. The people living in Shinar, which is modern-day Iraq or ancient Babylon, built a tower, and that tower's purpose, it says, was to reach the heavens. Now, clearly what they're trying to do is worship a god, right? In fact, these buildings that we still even are uncovering in the ancient world over there, they're called ziggurats, and they were made purposely with a staircase picture to invite a deity to earth. Well, we hear that God is very upset about this. In fact, he makes that interesting point that nothing will be withheld from them if they keep this up. Well, what he's admitting, and again, this is something that we have seen before in chapter 3, with Adam and Eve wanting this vast knowledge of a divine being, that as they worship a divine being, that nothing may be withheld from them, because again, gods were understood to provide wisdom and medicine and architecture and technology to humans. So God destroys, as it were, this building project by dividing these people, again living in the land of Babylon, into language groups. He does that either by supernatural means, confusing their languages supernaturally, or just by natural means. It doesn't say. Maybe a foreign invasion, very common way of doing that. Well, of course, the people stop building the tower, but they don't stop wanting to worship. And so what happens, and I'd recommend you take a look at Deuteronomy 4:19 and 29:26 to give information that's concurrent with this story. Same writer, Moses, talks about this event in this way, that at that time God gave, as it were, people are wanting to worship, right? And that God will give, and that's the word that's used, or allot, or divide, powers of the heavens to the pagan nations. So as these people divide out, the story of Torah, that of Moses' other books as well as just Genesis, is that at this time period, God is giving the people the desire of their heart in worshiping divine beings, and these divine beings are even allotted to people groups. And that's why you'll hear very commonly now words like my God versus your God. It is out of this story, of course, at the end of chapter 11 that we meet Abraham. He is coming out of this kind of a world that is worshiping other gods very actively. And of course, Abraham will be called by his God to be blessed and become the blessing of the entire world.